Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Anubha.
How are you?
Very good, excellent. How are you?
All good. All good.
Very good.
Okay, so today we'll talk about P2P. So we are talking today about a different sector, which is education sector, and a product called P2P. Okay, so we'll try to give a glimpse of that product to our customers. So
Sure.
I'll have a quick 2-3 questions in order to understand that P2P from
Yeah,
you.
that is the purpose. Yeah.
Okay. So my first question to you is, what are the unique features of this program? How is,
Okay.
if I want to put it across,
Yeah,
what are
wonderful.
the
Wonderful.
unique features?
Yeah, very good question to start with, actually. Um, See, let me explain first that P2P is Pedagogue to Pathfinder. We are
Okay.
talking in the education sector. So we are talking about the teacher. The teacher at present in 90% cases, 90 to 95% cases, are still working as pedagogues. They follow a syllabus and they stick to the syllabus, adhere to the syllabus, and conform. Those of us who are actually passionate teachers. So they do that. Very few are pathfinders. The second P is referring to Pathfinder, where they act as mentors to the students. So the whole idea is, since we are dealing in transformation, Percon as a company is dealing in transformation. We thought, in the education sector also, we should be able to bring about some transformation and transforming a teacher from being a pedagogue to actually becoming a mentor. So that is why P2P. Now, you asked me a very relevant question. What are the essential ingredients? What are the essential features of this program? See, first of all, we believe that the teacher has to have two essential qualities, and they are the fundamental quality every teacher needs to possess. Number one is that he or she has to be a passionate teacher. So, passion is
Correct.
number one.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not have the passion to teach, please don't take up the profession.
Mm-hmm.
So, passion is number one. You have to be passionate, and the passion comes from your self motivation. Actually, if you're self motivated to do the work, you'll be passionate. The second part is your perceptiveness.
Mm-hmm.
How perceptive you are, how much can you grab, how
Yes.
well can you grab, what is your bandwidth, how much can you extend that. So therefore, I think these two essential ingredients are the fundamental parts of this program. We have to have these two qualities instilled in a teacher who wants to be a proper teacher and become a mentor.
Okay.
uh, these Second thing that is essentially required, is, since you asked me about ingredients and features, I think we have to take the teachers through a process of training and coaching, which
Sure.
may last for almost 3 months. It cannot be everyday teaching for 3 months. So the duration, total duration is this spread over is 3 months, but in between you will have to have say three sessions or 4 sessions every week. Something like that will have to be worked out. I mean, it is already planned. It is there in the format that we have designed. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that we have to be flexible and variable also, depending on the needs of the teacher. So we can have three
Understood.
days also. We can have 4 days also during a week.
Understood. Okay. So that gives
And
us,
the last,
sorry.
but yeah, and the last feature, which you said essential feature, last feature is there is a regular and periodic audit that is done. After training is over, during the training, after the training, periodic
is what ensures least resistance to the initiative and makes it holistic. Because when we talk about education, it's not only teachers. Teachers are only like employers. There is an employee sitting on them. So what is that which ensures that least resistance is there and holistically the entire team is involved in making it that way?
Yeah, I think a very relevant question again, Anuba. Uh, I'm
Thank you.
really grateful that you're putting it across in this fashion. Um, the resistance also comes from the teachers. If they're not motivated enough, they would be resistant to a program like this. So, to answer your question, how you overcome this resistance and how do you make it holistic? Um, I think what we do is we actually do a triadic training. So there are three sections to it. If you look at a triangle, one corner is the teacher, the other corner is the student, and the third corner is the parent or the guardian. So we simultaneously take them forward in this program. Actually, the training and the coaching is imparted to the teacher,
Okay.
but what happens is during this period, the feedback of the training is shared with the students who could be resisting, and the feedback is also shared with the parent or the guardian, because the parents and the guardians are the guiding force at home. So if something is being communicated by the teacher, that needs to be followed up by the parent at home or the guardian at home.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the importance is not perpetuated. It doesn't sink into the student. So therefore, it is essential that when the training and the coaching is happening, the student is also taken into confidence, the guardian and parent are also taken into confidence. So that's why we call it a triadic training, because if there is some help that the teacher would need from us in terms of communicating with the parents or to the student, we'll do that. We'll handhold the teacher there. So that is, I think, the first part, that, to make it least resistant. And the second part is where the teacher is achieving things. So what we have said is that at the end of the program, we will issue a certificate. So this is a certification program. Now, the certification does not get over there. The process of certification gets over at no time. It is an unending process. Because what happens is, what you are training with certain benchmarks, you're training the teacher at a particular given point of time. Over a period of 3 years, all that might be backdated information.
Correct.
And you might have discovered new techniques to train the teacher, or new techniques for the teacher to impart his
Correct. Correct.
education to the student.
Correct.
So
Nowadays,
therefore,
technology is changing like anything.
yeah, so it's very volatile, and it changes like the information technology platform. Technology is changing very fast, and similarly, the education factor has also got to change, because we
Correct.
got to gear up. Today, small children are preparing apps. They're making apps for the mobile phones and for the desktops and PCs whatsoever. But I'm just giving you an example. This is how the technology is rapidly growing. So accordingly, education has to keep pace with it. Therefore, what may be relevant in the first 3 months or at the time you are imparting this training may not be relevant 3 years ahead.
Ahead. Correct. Correct.
So therefore, certification and recertification, that's why we call it recertification. So recertification is absolutely essential
Okay.
periodically after every 3 years. So this is what the teacher is also looking forward to. He feels qualified. He feels he's part of the, teacher fraternity, teaching fraternity, which exists across the world. So
Correct.
he is benchmarked with them, and he's treated at par with them. He can communicate with them. He interacts with them, and he feels he's not left out. He's not one of those teachers who's completely left out from the information what is happening across the world. So that
Correct.
is where this program motivates the teacher.
Right. So basically, more to do with teachers to learn the current environment. So recertification is important.
Correct.
Okay. So I have my last question because it's
Yeah. Yeah.
getting too long. What what ascertains quality that is relevant to the contemporary needs?
See, as I said earlier, we are doing a certification and we are doing recertification. This doesn't come without a process. You see,
Correct.
certification is not that you've given, you've imparted a certain training and the teacher acquires that training, and after that there's a certain audit, and the certificate is given. No, it is not like that. He has to qualify in certain tests. He has to see, it's not only the audit, it will be the audit plus the tests, which he will have to qualify, and then only he gets the
Mm-hmm.
certification.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, recertification happens when the teacher looks forward to that recertification, because in 3 years' time, he will get to know himself as to where he stands when he starts comparing himself with other parts of the other teachers in other parts of the world. So, like Australia, for example, is doing phenomenal work in education.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it is. We always look at the European countries and America, US, etc. But no, today, if you're talking about the education system, I think the best education system that is being thought about or being processed is Australia. So
Good.
yeah, they're doing wonderful work. So what I'm saying is, and it is not necessary that all Australia will always be ahead. It might be
Correct.
that you find one country from Africa doing very well. You know that. So nobody in this world of competition and benchmarking and advancement, you cannot put a stop to anybody. So anybody can come forward and do very well. So when we are doing repeated audits and repeated recertification, I think we keep ourselves contemporary, because the communication has to happen with benchmarks across the world. So we do not let, or we do not let down the teacher. We do not let him feel that he's in any way, you know, left behind in the race. So that is how the contemporariness of the program is asserted.
That's good. So that gives us a lot of idea about P2P, what we do and how does it affect the entire education system, the school, the management, the teacher, the student, and even the parents also. I think that's
Absolutely, I think the future of the Indian population lies in upgrading the teachers and
any
doing
day,
programs
any
something
day.
like this.
I
Doing
completely agree.
programs something like this. Because this is what is going to take them out of where they are at the moment.
Correct. Especially today where education system is in a bad shape.
Yeah, in a very
Yeah,
pathetic condition, I would say.
yeah, really bad shape. So it needs a lot of renovation and lot of upliftment in order to have a future generation which is uh, more knowledgeable, which is more self-sufficient, which is more this thing. So that was a good insight, sir.
Yeah,
Good to hear that.
one last thing, if you permit me to say,
Sure,
that
sir.
you see in the training world, we have the TTT, which is train the teachers, train the
Correct, correct,
trainers.
correct, correct.
Here we are doing the TTT for the teachers, train the teachers, because it is the teachers are already trained but they are probably not aware that they need further training, or even if they are aware, such a mechanism does not exist.
Correct. I think teaching or learning is a continuous process, and
Absolutely.
it's for everyone, whether it's a teacher or a student or a parent. I think it's a continuous process, and that's what P2P talks about. It's a continuous process which needs upgradation of oneself every day or every time, so to say. So that
Yeah.
was a good insight, sir. Good
Thank
to
you.
know
Thank
about
you.
a product like P2P. I
Thank
hope people in education sector understand this and look
No,
forward
they
to it.
surely understand. Only thing is they have to implement.
Yes. Understanding, I means that they are ready to implement. There is least resistance to it. So
Yeah.
that was a good insight, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you,
sir.
Anuma. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.